Hickok 45. Look what I've got. The Beretta ARX 100. Actually, I've had it quite a while. We just have not gotten it out and shown it to you and shown you what we think of it and shoot it some. But we're going to do it today. Before we do that, though, I wanted to officially, since it's Beretta Day here, officially welcome Beretta to Tennessee. Don't know if you knew that yet, but Beretta is in the process of moving to good old Tennessee. Not only Tennessee, but Middle Tennessee, right down the road here, like 25 minutes from where I'm standing. So that'd be pretty, even in bad traffic. So that's pretty cool, pretty cool. They're the oldest firearms manufacturer in the world, and here they are, you know, moved out of the Northeast and down to good old Middle Tennessee. So we welcome you, Beretta, and in honor of that, got out the old Beretta 92 FS. I don't know, I thought, what, we got the Beretta. I got a Nano actually too, don't I? But so I got that out, I put it on the table. And so we wanted to welcome those guys. And we appreciate them also lending us this ARX 100. This is the, let me open up the stock here. This is the, which is cool, it does fold. This is the civilian version of their ARX 160, which has been used for a few years now, as I understand, by the Italian military, and has acquitted itself quite well. And this is one, I've been firing this for a few days, and we've got, I don't know, 200, 250 rounds, something like that through it. We'll fire some more right now. And you've probably seen it, you probably know about a lot of the things people have been saying about it and writing about it. Well, we'll let you know what we think, okay? Let's extend the stock and see if it will fire. How's that? Because I have a magazine with ammunition in it, and fortunately it takes standard AR-15, M16 magazines for the most part. There's a few it doesn't take. But let's take a couple of shots here, see if I can get it to fire. How's that? Now, I've not cleaned it, I've just been firing it. Normally I clean a firearm every time I shoot it, but I just haven't done it with this. I've just let it stay dirty, and I'm going to fire it if I can get a round in the chamber without breaking my knuckle. We'll talk about that. Okay, safety, it's right there. It's kind of in the right position, but it's not necessarily all that easy to work, not as much as your typical M4. So partly because it's ambidextrous and it's, you know, on both sides there, kind of in the way of your knuckle on the other side. Okay, but it works. Well, what do we want to shoot? Got my ears in, don't I? All right. You know what I'm going to do first? I'm going to take a couple shots on that target right there. Got some high sights, so I better hold up. I was just kind of throwing them, I guess. Let's see if we can hit that pot. Where's my sight? Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Nice, little early pot smoking. Let's try that 12 ouncer there. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, it was another one. I was looking at the post instead of the sight. Let's go for the red plate over there. And a cloud of smoke or dust. Let's go to the other one, let the dust clear it. That's one advantage of having two. Pretty nice. Empty that magazine without too much trouble, huh? It doesn't take long, even 30 rounds, does it? All right, mag release, where are they? There's one there. There's one there. You know what that means? If you have one on both sides, it's something like ambidextrous. Okay, so pretty cool. And in fact, that is one of the things about this firearm before we go any further. Its claim to fame, it has a couple of claims to fame, I guess. One of them is it's maybe the most ambidextrous firearm rifle that I've seen There's actually some others that are fairly ambi, but this thing, the mag release, the bolt lock release, bolt release, the safety, you name it. Anybody, right-handed or left-handed, pick this rifle up and they're not going to notice any difference other than you just need to move the bolt handle. You can have the bolt handle on either side. You know what, I could just go ahead and show you that before it gets too hot, show you a couple of these things. This is a little awkward, and of course my being awkward anyway. Let me see if I get in the best position to do this. Seems like, and we are clear, of course. I'm going to bring it back to here. Bring it back to this little notch here and pull out on it. But it's got to come all the way back. I'll tell you one thing I discovered. Just put my darn finger right in front of the bolt. Makes that a little bit easier. There we go. Yeah, got it out. Now, that's a little tip if you haven't figured that out. If you have one of these things, you stick your finger there on the bolt and hold it back to where it goes, and then this will move around. The only problem is the bolt, actual bolt, needs to be forward in the carrier. Move it forward, and then this will go through and come out on the other side like magic. See? You pop it back in, then your bolts on, well, go ahead and do it. Bolts on the right side now, okay? There you go. How's that for ambidextrous? So let me pull it back to the notch, pull it out again. There we go. And get the bolt out. I know that seems like an awkward, long way around the barn way to do it, but it works better for me, to tell you the truth. Just go ahead and do that. Hold the bolt back with my finger. And carefully not to release the bolt, pinch your finger. Don't think it would cut your finger off or anything. Okay, and then just pop it back in and you're back in business. Okay, so that is really cool. That's a positive feature of the firearm. The fact that you can reverse the bolt handle either way. And of course, you could take it apart, fuel strip it, and make it even easier to reverse. Because think about it, if you're a lefty and you buy this gun, or even if you're in the military and you're a lefty, you know, once you reverse it, you're going to keep it moving it back and forth. I doubt it, so it's just going to be there. So it wouldn't matter if it really, you get right down to, unless you're thinking of something I can't think of. You can probably think of a lot of things I can't think of, though, right? You know, I mean, how many? It wouldn't matter if it took 10 minutes to do it, is what I'm getting at. Okay, it took me 10 minutes to explain that, didn't it? Now the negative side of that is this: in order for, I guess that's what the designers were thinking. They wanted that to not have to be pulled out just to get it back there and you know, swivel around like that. Well, to do that, they needed a relatively short bolt handle, I guess, right? I'm in the engineer's head here, trying to be. Well, the problem with that, you end up with a short bolt handle, and this little, I guess that's a brass deflector there, which badly needs to be dremeled off. Because when you pull that back, I mean, it's tricky to avoid hitting your knuckle on that. I mean, I'm kind of getting the knack of it. Boy, you've got to grab that thing out towards the end, and it's, I don't know, I don't like that at all. John and I have been cursing that feature or lack of feature for a while now. Okay, so you'll want to get the Dremel tool out once you mess with this, believe me. All right, so anyway, ouch, very ambi. It needs a longer, bigger bolt handle badly. Let's just leave it at that, all right? But it's very ambi, you saw that. Now another thing, one thing I need, I don't know where I can get one. You reckon I could find a 5.56 round somewhere? Speaking of that, we appreciate Federal furnishing this. We're shooting their, this is 55 grain full metal jacket there, obviously full metal jacket, okay? And we appreciate Federal furnishing ammo and Beretta the firearm. To further make it ambi, if I want to, and I'll just show you this. This is pretty cool. This is one thing that I think works really well in the firearm. If you wanted to eject, now when I fire here, put my ears back on, just to show you how simple it is. The brass is going to come out to the right, right? Just like that. Now, if I push on this, now it's going to come out to the left. How's that? Pretty amazing, huh? And it's very simple to do. You just push that little bar in there. All right? So now we're back to coming out of the right side. So extremely ambidextrous. In fact, to demonstrate how ambidextrous it is, you won't believe this, but I can shoot a kind of a 2-liter like that on the right side of the range, and also one on the left side of the range. Now that's really ambidextrous. How funny was that? Am I a comedian or what? Let's see, let's pop another 2-liter here. Just about hit a piece of steel back there. You know what? We have a couple of watermelons. Not many of them left in the season. So, woo, got that guy. Oh, nice. I'll save this one here, maybe for later. Let's try the red plate again. Oh, no, I've got some cinder block pieces over there. Well, looks like I had them. Okay, pretty cool. Oh, we left that pumpkin up there. I didn't really mean to do that, but we'll do it. There's some more cinder action. All came tumbling down. Little pumpkin. Nice, nice. I'll put a couple more on that target. Who knows where they're going. We're just working on combat accuracy. And speaking of that, while it cools down a little bit, now this is not warm at all, I have to say, but while it cools down a little bit, for my, I've read several articles on this firearm and other people's experience with it, and they're getting good accuracy out of it. I mean, it's not, you know, it's not a target rifle, but they're getting really good combat accuracy out of it. Okay. And you would expect that from Beretta. It's you know, it's decent firearm in that sense. Now, you got all these sling attachments. You got up here on the front. You got them on the back of the stock. You got 3 or 4 on each side of the gun. Again, adding to the versatility there. It doesn't matter whether you're a lefty or a righty. You got the backup iron sights on there, which are mostly polymer. They're different. You might prefer, you know, whatever, some Troy's or Daniel Defense or whoever's, you know, Magpul, whoever you like in a backup iron sight. These seem to sit higher than most that I've used. And I would, if this were my firearm, I were going to keep this one, purchase it, I would probably replace those. I'm not sure I like them. It's kind of interesting. You just move this dial for the various distances and the size of aperture you want. That rear one is not 100% solid there, but so I'm not sure I like those. They're not quick to pick up for me. I don't know, they're okay. Part of it is the fact the stock is too short. The stock does not extend enough for me, and I keep meaning to get a rubber pad to put on it just to give me more length, but it's really not that long, and I think some of you would find it a little too short as well. And that is, it's not just because I'm 6'8". A lot of the stocks now, the better stocks on AR-15s are long enough. I mean, they really are, but this one's not quite long enough. All right, now before I get it heated up again, I'll show you the inside. It's so much polymer, of course, as you can see. And we got it clear. Watch me skin my knuckles again. Okay, we're definitely clear. Now, your bolt lock down there, kind of awkward for me. I don't know, maybe not for you. Same here, you can push up on that button, or right there, ambidextrous, you know, on both sides. It locks the bolt, okay, or unlocks it. So if you want to do, and you know, I should have done this earlier before I got the barrel hot, but I think maybe, let's see how bad it is. I might be able to do it without that. Let's see. You pull down these levers here, kind of like a Glock. If you're going to break it down, pull down, comes right out. Except I'm having a hard time grabbing. I really need to get a hold of it around the barrel. I should have done that. There we go. Ouch, ouch, ouch. All right. So now you've got a grenade launcher, it looks like, doesn't it? Look at that. There you go. You could use that in a science fiction movie. But it's that simple to take the barrel out. I was hoping to get a 300 blackout barrel and show you, just replace it and then shoot some 300 blackout real quick and all that. We didn't have any available. Just couldn't get one of those. But that's simple. That's pretty simple as far as getting a barrel in and out of the gun. While that's cooling off, so I don't burn myself here, I will show you what you do to take it down. I need to release the bolt. So release the bolt. And if I remember how you do this, you close this up. Okay. And you take the lower assembly out, the trigger group out, by pushing up on the safety to a kind of another notch and pushing on the top of this, and that kind of releases that. Okay, and there you go. Got a handgun, right? And then pull back on the bolt, and then the same old thing. You pull that out and turn it around where it's in line with the bolt. Then you just pull it out. There you go. And the rest of this is mostly polymer, weighs nothing. And I know if you're an old wood and steel person, this is pretty different, and it's pretty strange. It's hard to accept. And in some ways, maybe for me too. But you know, if it's ergonomic, functional, and it's a smart design, I can live with it. I mean, it's fine. But it's a little different, no doubt about it. So let's stick it back in there. We might want to shoot a little bit more, I think. And let's see. Oh, see, that has to be, yeah. No, that's got to come out, yeah. Pushed in, there we go. All right. So put that back and get the controls back in here. Just push down on that, get it up in there. I think you still have to push on that safety to really get it up there. All right, popped in. So interesting design, no doubt about it. And snap back in. All right. So like I say, that's a killer right there. The brass deflector. I'm assuming that's what that is, but it's really not much bolt to grab hold of there. It is nice that it's reversible, but you do have that issue. Now, like I say, there you got ambidextrous bolt lock, bolt release, ambidextrous mag release, safety, you name it. So it's ready. Now right here, if you happen to have a grenade launcher, you can, I don't have a good enough fingernail there. See if I can find a pocket weapon here. Never do, always have a pocket weapon. Get that lip up just a little bit. There we go, and that slides right off. And you could put your grenade launcher on there. Now, as I understand, they also have available a full-length Picatinny rail that you can put there instead if you happen to be one of those few people in the world that does not need a grenade launcher. Okay? Most of us need one, but if you're not, you could replace that with a rail. All right? Pretty neat. Now, you reckon the barrel's cool enough to reinstall? All right. Let's see. See if I can get back in there. Oh, it has a gas system, the piston. This has a lot of travel to it. Oh, and I was reading one writer's opinion, thought that was the reason that the recoil seems a little softer, and it does. Another positive about the Firearm. It does feel it's a, excuse me, it's a sweet shooting rifle. Yeah, the recoil impulse seems a little less, just a little, you know, than the standard AR. And this writer, I forget who it was saying that the length of that, pushing on the carrier for a longer period of time instead of just popping it, because it moves like a full 2 inches, I think, assists in that regard. So that was the theory there. But it is a really sweet shooting gun. That's one thing that John and I both agree on. It's a nice shooter. Okay. Oh man, I need to grab that thing. Should have my gloves out here. And I'm going to make this look harder than it is, but it's not a problem because I've had it in and out a lot of times. So, oops, let me just tough it out here for a second. Ouch. Get it. I don't think that has, yeah. Oh, I know what it is. Oh, it's so hot it got me all confused in my brain because I really don't have much of a brain. You have to have the bolt back, okay? That was just a test to make sure y'all were paying attention. The bolt needs to be back when you reinstall the barrel. There we go. Takes a lot of force to get it back too, by the way. Okay, now let's see if we can look a little less awkward, clumsy, and stupid. How's that? How's that? See, it's easy when you do things the right way. That's what I'm here for, to do things the wrong way so you can learn from my stupidity. All right, so yeah, the bolt has to be back. All right, so you have to admit that's pretty simple when you do it the correct way, isn't it? And voila, she's back together. Not a problem to take apart and rebuild. What about it before I get hot again? Anything else I forgot to tell you about there? Again, the sights are kind of different and they sit way up there, but they work. Now we're firing again, mostly 50-55 grain ammo. We have fired, gosh, all kinds of magazines in it. As I understand, the mag, well, I don't have to understand. Here's one here. I brought it out. It's a Generation 3 mag pull, PMag, and it doesn't work because it just doesn't seat. We got that shelf on the Generation 3, so it will not work in this gun. There are several other guns that the 3rd generation firearms or magazines don't work in. They work in most standard ARs, but some of these guns they don't work in. And oh yeah, I've got one right here. 2nd generation, we'll just go ahead and use it. It doesn't have that shelf, so it will seat. Okay, not a problem. H&K, Brownells, magazine that came with it. I don't know if Beretta makes that. It's totally blank. It's not marked. It's kind of a secret manufacturer. I guess it's Beretta, but it works. So most do. The Surefire, there's a problem with the Surefire mags, and I'm not sure if there's any others that will not work or not, but your standard smooth AR mags will work. Okay, if you get them seated. Let me pull the bolt back. There we go. This might be one where we put that extra round in, and sometimes that creates a problem. All right, a couple more shots. Feels really good. Don't see the target too well. Let's put, oh, watermelon. I don't want to shoot that steel. I'm surprised I haven't been hitting it behind that target. I don't know how I've missed it. Nice. I'm going to put several in the barrel here with a little bit of, at least try to pump some out. Okay. I don't know, the trigger it's kind of stiff, but it's got a fairly clean break to it. So I feel like I can shoot it as fast as I need to or can with most semi-automatics. It's not an excellent trigger by any means. It's fairly heavy, but it's got a clean break. It's fairly crisp, so it feels pretty good in that regard. We shot it, and I think we could shoot it all day long, and it's going to crank right along. So it seems to work fine, which is what you'd expect from Beretta. It's just that it's a little, some things are a little bit awkward about it. It's not a firearm I'd probably purchase because it's just a little awkward. It's a little bit ungainly. You really do, in my opinion, need to get those slings on it. If you buy this thing or own it, you'd want those slings on there because it'd make it a lot more convenient just to put it on your shoulder, because it just doesn't have the feel of an AR, standard AR, M4 or A2, whatever size. It just feels a little bit awkward, and that's kind of the problem when you're a civilian, like the military. And I don't know, I haven't talked or heard from any of the folks in the Italian military that use these. They may love these more than anything because they've trained on them and they're accustomed to using them and everything else, and they work. With folks like most of us, you and me, and not all of us, a lot of you are in the military, but like most of us, we have a lot of great choices, don't we? And so ergonomics are pretty important. And I pick up my AR over there, it fits like a glove, and it's just really handy. And this doesn't strike me as being a really handy rifle. Maybe it could be if I got the right slings on it, but it's just a little bit ungainly, a little bit awkward, but it works. It really does. And that's one of the negatives. It's just this kind of awkward feeling in that bolt. and the high sights, I guess. And what else do I not like about it? The short stock, I guess. And the controls, that bolt lock's kind of awkward for me to manipulate with my finger. But on the positive side, it's reasonable weight. It seems to be 100% reliable. It just cranks right on, and it has, like I said, a kind of a reduced recoil impulse. It's a kind of gun when you start shooting it, you just want to keep shooting it. It just feels really good, and it seems, you know, very reliable. So anyway, the ARX 100. That's just some of my impressions on it. Information's out there. You can see already what people are saying about it, and whether they bought them, and you know what their experiences are. And I think it's mostly positive, except for some of the things that I've noticed right away. But anyway, it's made well, and it shoots just fine. Life is good.